Well, hey folks, Real Honestly with Richard Midland. This is my review of Women of Wrestling Episode 1. It's an all-female wrestling promotion with executive producer Jeannie Buss, who has a big hand in the Lakers. You might have heard of her. Understands how to promote big sporting events and, how to market a big brand. So I'm very excited to see what she can do, as she really seems very, very knowledgeable in interviews and stuff. She really does understand what she's doing. And also David McLean, who is the original creator of Glow, the promotion, not the Netflix TV series, and also a couple other female wrestling promotions. In fact, this is actually a revival because Women of Wrestling was a promotion back a number of years ago, had varying degrees of success, didn't really work all that well, but here we are. AXS TV has it, and they've really seemed to have pumped a good amount of money into it. It has a really cool feel to it, very small crowd, very energetic crowd. And it is a weird studio feel, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And they do have an impressive roster. And if I don't know a ton about some of these talents, I do want to apologize. I'm aware of some of them. Please let me know in the comments if there are any matches of ones I'm not aware of that I should check out. So, that being said, laying that down, this was a very, promo heavy and introductory show, as it should have been. And hopefully they'll focus more on the ring as they go on. You did have David McLean in the ring. And he introduced Santana Garrett. Santana Garrett, who was in Impact Wrestling and, did pretty well for herself. They could have used her a little better, but that being said, she has grown as a performer, is really dynamite in the ring, better on the mic. She's talking about how she's been the WOW champion for a while, and, is talking about, how her dad, who apparently was a former wrestler, he's in, I believe, a wheelchair, and he's got an oxygen tank. He's in the crowd. She's very happy that despite all his health issues, he's able to be there, and that comes back to play later in the in the show, why he, his health and all that. But Santana Garrett's there talking up being the champion, all that. Then Tessa Blanchard, Tully Blanchard's daughter, comes down, and she talks of her family's legacy and everything, and that you should be carrying my bags, and your dad was probably carrying my, father's bags and this kind of stuff. And Tessa being a really, really good heel. Tessa is very, very good, especially at such a young age. She is going to shine just like her dad did. And these two obviously are building to a big feud that we'll get to in a bit. They had a good promo battle, though. And then we have video packages mainly to hype up a lot of the roster and incoming feuds. Shaul Guerrero, I hope I pronounced her name right, Eddie and Vicky's daughter, as the ring announcer. Very, very cool. Also Aiden English's wife. But good for her. I'm really happy to see that she's being featured on TV. You have this one woman called The Beast, not too familiar with her, very powerful, very jazz-like. Really got a very big jazz inspiration from her. But also she's created her own character. She's very over. She faced off against a woman called Steffi Slays, which sounds like, just like every cliche, like, yes, it's Slays or something like that. I don't know what the kids say about people these days. It was essentially, I guess, they showed some recaps or whatever, and I guess Steffi was forced into this match because the Beast was just calling out people, and then was beat up on a previous episode before it came to AXS, so this was kind of a rematch. Steffi was more prepared, but she got in a few shots, but the Beast essentially just doing a whole lot of dominant stuff. She did hit a really, really impressive powerbomb. She got the victory pretty quick. I think it was like 4 minutes. There was much more of an emphasis on promos and introductions of characters than there were on in-ring action. I think it was like half in-ring action, half promos. I mean, they only have an hour-long show, so it is what it is. Still, impressive showing for the Beast. She will factor on later into the show. And then we get a promo from a character called Fire, who is actually Kiera Hogan from Impact Wrestling. What little I've seen of her, she is very impressive as well. She talks about growing up, talking about the fact that she did not have the best upbringing, this kind of stuff, and that her parents didn't want her to be in wrestling, but she knew she could be. And seeing how impressive she is at such a young age, she's only 24, going to be 25 this year, she has got a ton of great years ahead of her. You then get who's a character called the governor's daughter, who is Barbie Hayden, and I know that name. I can't think about where I've seen her before, but I know the name and I know the look. But going by the name of Abilene Maverick, I believe Abilene Maverick, versus Kiera Hogan, going by the name of Fire. This was an impressive match for the short time it was given. There were some good strikes, a couple good close near falls. Kiera Hayden is really, really impressive winding maneuver, just really doing some good stuff, going for very close near falls. But in the end, It was a nice DDT off the ropes, nice spike move off the ropes. 1, 2, 3, and Abilene Maverick gets the victory. This was good stuff because you had to have a heel get the victory here. Kira is still young in the business. It's not that any of the women necessarily are old. There's a mixture of experience and women that, with more TV time will get even more over. And some of these have been featured on other promotions as well. This was what it was. Good showcase, but still, for the short time, this gave each woman a good chance to, shine with a couple good, big maneuvers and some good exchanges. And then we get some scene with Steffi, Abilene, and, talking backstage. Abilene's about to get in Steffi's face, but then this woman named Chloe just shoves everybody out of the way. It's time for me. I believe Chloe is the girlfriend or wife of RVD, because RVD was shown in the crowd. It would make sense why he was cheering her on. Good for them if they're happy together. I mean, I wasn't too familiar. I don't really follow a lot of relationships, but good on RVD and good for Chloe. Hope they're happy together. So we then get this Chloe Hertz, that's the Chloe girl's name, versus with some ring rats, some Chippendale knockoff guys, versus a black woman with a big amount of poofy hair. Kind of reminded me of like mixture of 70s and 80s. And her name was Eye Candy, and it was like, it was an interesting gimmick. She like really had a lot of cool dance, just a lot of energy and stuff like that. And the crowd was into it. The crowd really was into it. Impressive strength by Chloe, just hitting this beautiful, beautiful series of strength maneuvers. But in the end, you did have some fired up energy from Eye Candy. She hit a really, really impressive moonsault. And I mean perfect. Like, she fucking hit that perfectly. That was really well done. She gets victory. 1, 2, 3. Good stuff. I did not catch who the commentary team was. I apologize. Somebody comment below and let me know what the commentary team was. But we then get some voodoo character by the name of Siren. She does a promo, and yeah, that happened. There were these short promos where it's like it's going to take more time for people to really get into this stuff, but they did the best they could with the hour they had. We then get a Santana Garrett and a Jungle Girl promo, and Jungle Girl apparently, shout out to New Patriot 77, pointed out to me that she was part of the original Women of Wrestling, so she's been around for a bit. And it shows because she actually clearly has, the experience and the edge with, being able to do some great maneuvers. And hopefully she will be able to be showcased a little bit better going forward. Because we get a title rematch where this is based off a match where I didn't catch who the other woman was in the recast, but it was Santana Garrett, Jungle Girl, and one other person. And so it was for the WoW Women's title, and Santana Garrett got the victory without Jungle Girl actually ever getting pinned. So Jungle Girl lost the title, and that's a nice way to build some character and stuff like that. So you get some good, just a brief series of exchanges here, because going off what they did earlier with Santana and Tessa runs down. And Tessa runs down to Santana Garrett's dad. I should not laugh at this, but she just grabs the oxygen hose to his tank and just starts squeezing. And I mean, she's obviously doing it like enough where it's like it's not going to affect anything. But it's just so comically goofy and everything. It's so ridiculous. But she does that and just gets it. And it's like, and Santana runs out there to save her dad, and they brawl a bit. And then they're brawling a bit around the ringside. And who's Jungle Girl going to face next? Why, even though the match was pretty much thrown out, the Beast from earlier runs in. So, okay, we're going to get the Beast and the Jungle Girl. Okay, this really is 80s wrestling. Good God, this is weird. But it's so fun. It was a fever dream of a show, but it was a lot of fun. The matches, of course, could have been a little bit better. Like I said, it was about half wrestling, half promos. But what I was able to see was very entertaining. I'm certainly going to say a B for the entertainment factor. There will be a pull above my head. And hopefully, as the show goes on, these reviews can be a little bit shorter since it's only an hour-long show. But I was impressed by it, and if I got any of these names wrong, if there's any things I need to know about these particular talents, please leave links in the comments. Find me on Twitter. My Twitter handle's in the description. And like, share, subscribe. It's been Real Honesty with John Riddle, and I will be back next week with Women of Wrestling Episode 2, Electric Boogaloo. See you soon.